Some strange happenings in a breakaway that was determined just to be caught, whilst a massive crash has big GC ramifications. Yesterday, Mavi Garcia went on a flyer. Kopecky couldn't bring it back. The punchers tried to go on the steep hill, or like the 200-meter 12% section. Then there was no one left to chase. No one wanted to go with Vibers in the group. They all saw her there. And so Mavi Garcia held on, rewarded for her bravery, winning the stage, whilst Kim LaCourte Pinar went into the yellow jersey on stage placements ahead of Mariana Vos. Today's stage was more of a straightforward affair. Well, in theory, a flat sprint stage, not the hills of the previous two stages. We didn't really have crosswind threats either, so it just was going to be a sprint. Everyone looking at SD Works to do the work because they got Lorena Vibas here. There was a decent breakaway though, and they got a proper advantage of 3.5 minutes. Kopecky was getting bid on. She'd be the final lead-out woman for Lorena Vibas in the flat sprint. That combination's pretty much unbeatable. You did have to pay attention though throughout the day. There's road furniture. There's things going on. There's crashes that could end your GC if you're not careful. The intermediate sprint, Vibas showed with jumping early that, yeah, Vos and no one else really is as fast as her, taking maximum points. But the breakaway, very, very straight. Sarah Martin attacks with 10Ks to go. They had 30 seconds. It's an advantage where you have to work together as a unit of 4 as long as possible. Maybe the last K you can attack when it's down to 5 seconds or something, but by attacking there, it just doomed the breakaway. Maybe there was some passengers she wanted to get rid of, but that just begins an attack phase and a cessation of the cooperation that makes it certain that they're going to be caught, and they're caught way, way too early, and you never know what can happen in a sprint stage. It's one team chasing. It's SD Works chasing. Visma weren't chasing because they know Vos isn't going to beat Vibas 99% of the time in a flat sprint. And so, like, I can understand this if they had a gap of 2 minutes, then you play the game from further out. But Soto, Martin, and Jackson, they kind of played themselves, unfortunately. They're caught at 6Ks to go, so SD Works probably couldn't believe their luck with Blancavash and Bredevold having pulled to control the breakaway. They've got it under control with 6Ks to go, so happy days for them. The GC teams take over. It's a 5K to go rule to this stage. They extended it from 3K, so FDJ Suez, their front and center with Demi Vollering. She's behind Shabby and I think Vanderbrecher for SD Works. And then the sprint teams will take over after. Cassia Nuvidoma is on the wheel of Vollering. And yeah, after 5Ks to go, you want to get out of the mix. But there's an important roundabout here. You want to be in good position in case there's a crash on the roundabout before the 5K to go rule. Because if there's a crash after that, you get the same time on GC. Before that, you're on your own. You get your own time on GC. So here's the banner with the illusion of safety for everybody in terms of getting the same GC time if there's a crash. That's one thing. But like I always say, crashing's not good for your GC campaign and just generally cycling. Crashing is not good if you can avoid it. It's better not to crash. And so 4.8Ks to go. The sprinters team start to move in position. Kopecky on the right. Trek have formed a unit in the middle with Elisa Balsamo. Vos is there with 2 in front of her. But the GC riders still stay forward, or at least some of them. And there's a big fight. Like, look how wide this road is. And these corners where it's really wide entry, where anyone can dive bomb, into a narrower single file or 2 wide exit and narrowing, they're the tricky ones because you get a massive dive bomb. Look, Vollering's now without a teammate, well, she got Shabby rather in the QOM jersey, but she's front, 4th position, fighting for position after the 5Ks to go. And look how wide, this is a 20 wide road, and that means from here, they're going to go to a right-hand corner, which you can't see, where it's going to narrow to maybe 4 wide. Everyone on the sides is going to dive bomb. And they're going to go on the outside, they're going to go on the inside, and that's going to pinch middle. The middle riders are going to get pinched, and you see Balsamo and the Sarah Tizet rider, they're going to go up the inside. FDJ are trying to come up with Walson on the outside. And here, both Balsamo and the Sarah Tizet rider just straight up don't use their brakes. They should brake at this point, and they keep going, and they're going to chop their front wheel on. I think Sarah Tizet rider chops on Cassia. Demi is just in the mix. She's got swamped from left and right. Riders coming over her front left wheels. Look where Ferron Prevost is. She's with a teammate, not dive bombing, leaving braking distance because you're not going to get put on a gap, and Vollering gets taken out. She lands hard on her left side and maybe her back. Massive crash. Kim LaCourte-Pinard just misses it, but she's out of the sprint, so she can't take stage placements. So it's looking good for Vos in that regard. And the race continues. Van der Breggen on the front, Kopecky and Vibas behind her. Shabby's made it for FDJ Suez, but Vollering looks really hurt, hobbling, limping around. She doesn't pedal initially, right leg shaking, maybe from the shock. We'll see. She does pedal over the finish line. But now it's just about basically Vibas delivering. I mean, a small group like this means she's even more likely to win because she's not going to get boxed in. And she's just the fastest, so there's less variance. Visma Bike do a lead out. 1K to go with De Vries and Van Aert. Vos is in the green points jersey. She undercuts this corner, gets onto the wheel of Vibas, out of it. Ali Wollaston, though, she's able to shoot up the inside. Her teammates on the front, Lanaire, rather, doing the lead-up. I get confused because Lanaire is actually the French natty champ. Wollaston begins the fight with Vos for the wheel of Vibas, which is, yeah, everyone wants the wheel of Vibas, but from the wheel of Vibas, you can't win. So, yeah, we see that a lot. Nomi Rug launches really, really early. Maybe got a bit overexcited. If it was an uphill sprint, I think she might have had. There's no harm in going early, but this was a flatter sprint unlike the previous 2 days, and we see Kopecky waiting, and Vibas just doesn't wait for the Kopecky lead out. She goes, Vos in the wheel, gaps everybody off that wheel. Wollaston, I think, comes third, but as you can see, yeah, as I said, if she's not boxed in, she gets to open her sprint at 200, then nobody's beating her, and that's what happens. Lorena Vibas, well, maybe Charlotte Cool, she did last year, but Charlotte Cool's unfortunately not here. So Vibas, after 2 stages, gets her W. Vollering is able to pedal across the line. At least her pedaling action looked better there than when she first got on the bike. Vibas wins ahead of Volson, then Jastrab, Basoit, Janssen, Niviadoma, Ruch, and Brand. In terms of GC, Vos goes back into the yellow jersey, taking another 6 bonies on Kim LaCourte-Pinard, Ferrand Prevot in third. But yeah, Vollering, she's the one that, for this Tour de France, we need her in good shape. I mean, last year she had the crash, which really affected GC. It was an exciting Glandon stage, but hopefully she's able to continue tomorrow and in good shape. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.